Welcome friends who think that a 1 blue green for a 3/4 flyer with too many abilities is broken. We're so thrilled to have you together with us in the wonderful world, a journey through the wonderful world of Magic the Gathering. You're watching / listening to the Cozy Magic Podcast, the coziest magic podcast around. I'm one of your hosts and counting the days to a Nadu ban, Nigel.
Hello, and I'm usually behind the camera, but
Yeah.
Ruby's in Europe, so it's me today. I'm Cassa.
Yeah, so if you've never seen Cassa's face before, that's what it looks like. Yeah, but we're very happy to have you on board. We'll get talk about something very interesting today because we're going to be talking our main topic today about Magic Con Amsterdam, which is exactly where Ruby is at the moment, and that's why she's not in the chair.
We've got the inside sources.
Yeah, we've got all the sneaky stuff. But first, what's going outside of the world of Magic, Cassa?
Honestly,
and I know everything about you, really.
Not much because it's almost all magic, but
we're doing a lot of work. We're doing a lot of work. Hopefully you like the content.
There's a lot of magic.
Yeah.
I enrolled for a podcasting class at uni.
Oh.
I don't know. I was like, oh, it'd be easy, and I'd be like, oh, I can just use these episodes as like my assignments. That's the plan anyway. So hopefully it's easy, but I don't know.
Free credits, yeah.
Or I learned something, unlikely, but I learned something and then I can apply it to the podcast.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's like a win-win either way for you,
Exactly.
right?
And I'll bill you guys for my class.
You tell us, viewers and listeners, if you can sort of see like the episode where the
change
happens.
Give it 12 weeks, and then I have to pass the class. And if I pass,
if you
then
pass, it's good. If you can't, I didn't learn shit. You know?
Yeah. That's it for me. How about you?
So I don't know if this will probably won't come out by the time that this comes out because we want to rush this episode out quickly.
Yeah.
But we did a podcast about buying something in trading cards. So after that episode, I'm like, you know what? I've got the binder that I showed during that episode. I'm like, I really should get rid of some of the cards too, so I can buy more cards. So I went to exactly like I said in the podcast, and you'll see in the future episode, posted it on like Facebook Marketplace, buy, sell, trade groups in Australia. And yeah, to date, I've already sold. So people have paid me for these, and I've either like shipped them off or handed in person at $200 odd with $56 like pending. So
that's pretty good.
I mean, not to say that you can't make money off Magic to buy more Magic, but you certainly can.
Yeah.
Right? And whenever we talk about like booster pack cracking, if you crack the one ring, you haven't made $100. You've got a card that you could make $900. So something to think about, folks, when you're willy-nilly cracking packs.
Yeah, especially when everyone's got a one ring now as well. So.
Yeah, and it's just gone up. We were talking about now because last year I remember the JB Hi-Fi was getting rid of Lord of the Ring bundles for I think $70 odd. The one ring was about 60, 70. And now I cracked a bunch of bundles on stream for $93 each. And the ring was worth $80.
Yeah.
CK 1-to-1, and now it's CK 90 1-to-1. So it's crazy.
Thanks, Modern. Thanks for increasing prices.
Speaking of cracking packs, I think it's my turn today. Where do my packs go? And because Ruby isn't over here, we're gonna do something special. I'm gonna crack 2 packs.
2 packs. All right.
We're all unhinged already.
What are the big hits in Brothers War?
Brothers War, we've got Portal to Phyrexia.
Oh yeah.
We've got Gix, Yawgmoth's Predator.
Mesmeric Orbs in there.
There's what, sorry?
Mesmeric Orb, that's like 20, 30
Oh,
bucks.
yeah. And there's also Cityscape Leveler.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of hits. Like it wasn't like a massive set, but we'll see. So I'm gonna crack one of these now really quickly. Just draft packs, by the way. In the old days of draft packs, we're living in that play booster era now. Alrighty. Soul Guide Lantern. Oh, because there's the retro frame,
I love the retro frames.
Artifacts that come with, so that could be something good there too. The rare is Chaos Reconstruction. That's fine. Junkyard Genius. Go for the throat. We like go for the throat.
Yeah.
And
good removal.
Monastery Swiss. Yeah.
I need that for my standard deck.
You need it for his modern.
That's perfect.
For your standard deck. Perfect. And then a bunch of commons. I don't think there's any good commons in this set, so this figure is always good. But yeah, not bad.
Nice.
But the good thing is there's a second pack.
Okay, give me a look at this one.
You gotta have a look at those
ones,
my friend. Chaos Reconstruction. It's fine.
Oh.
It's not fine. It's okay. All right. Ornithopter. We like Ornithopters.
Oh, is that the 0 cost one?
Yeah.
My favorite card.
Yeah, it's great.
Sick card.
Oh, Visions of Phyrexia.
That's pretty good.
That's actually really good. Yeah, I like it. Ashnod's Harvester. Defabricate. I actually really don't like Defabricate as a spell.
You do or you don't like it?
I do like
Oh,
it. Yeah, because countering target activated the trigger ability actually is so relevant now, especially in Commander, which we play a lot.
True.
Someone goes like, yeah, I'm going to Aetherflux Reservoir you for 50. Like, no, you just lost 50 life. I love doing that. It's
Yeah.
my favorite thing. Northern Vermilion. Yeah, not really much else here. You can take a look at that.
Yeah.
But Swiftspear is good. Go for the Throat's good, I think.
I
Yeah.
love the Ornithopter. I put it in my Leonardo da Vinci deck.
Oh, because you're going to build...
It's
Assassin's Creed's
Ornithopter
coming
cover,
out, my
yeah.
friends. I think by the time this episode comes out, yeah, Assassin's Creed will be out. If everything works out well.
Oh my god, is that this week?
It's this week.
All right.
The relentless pace of Magic, which we'll talk about very soon because we are going to talk about Magic Con Amsterdam and the announcements and sort of revelations and stuff that happened during Magic Con Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah.
Now, of course, our good friend Ruby is there. I think she's still there at the time of recording.
Yep.
Because Magic Con happened, I think, was it Friday to Saturday? Friday to Sunday, correct?
Yeah.
It's like a 3-day event. And it's Tuesday today. Not the day that you're listening to it. You know, we just record on Tuesday sometime. But looked like she had a good time. She went for some of our friends.
Oh yeah, I got mad FOMO.
You mad FOMO?
I was like,
one of our friends, Kira, she video called us from
Yeah, we were
Amsterdam.
watching the Pro
and we were
Tour,
watching
yeah.
them. And then she was like, because there's separate areas in the Magic Con, right? And one of them is obviously the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
And she like just walked up and like leaned over the barrier and was like we couldn't see what they were playing and everything. But she was like, yeah, this guy comes to our store all the time. And I was like, oh, he's Australian. And I was like, Aussie. Was it you or was it our other friend?
No, it was me. And
Was it
then
you?
Kira's like, oh, I better turn you down in case you spoil what's on what's happening. Yeah.
But we wanted to talk and react to some of the announcements because we couldn't talk and react about it in real life while we were there. And we'll just get started with it, I think.
Yeah.
I think the first announcement that sort of surprised everyone why it was the first announcement was a lot of information about Dustmon,
Yeah.
House of Horror. What were your sort of like feelings about the set in general, I think?
Oh, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
To me, what do you call it? Bloombo is like cool.
Yeah.
But Duskmorn is where my shit's at.
I was going to say, because a lot of people fall into two camps, right? You're
Yeah.
either, Dustmorn, or Bloomburrow. And I
Yeah.
think Ruby and I in this camp, and then like yourself and a lot of our friends in the Dustmorn camp.
I love that. Like the 80s horror.
Yeah.
Like the VHS style they've got. Like it's just really
I saw
sick.
some of the frames.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
A lot of people are saying like it does look a little, this can't be the right word, like a little, how do you say, playing on tropes.
Oh yeah.
A little bit. Like, I mean, obviously we've only seen a couple of cards.
Yeah.
But I really hope they do it like quite well. But I guess we'll sort of see. There's a lot of new cards that got spoiled because we didn't see a single card before.
Yeah. None.
MagicCon. And one of the new mechanics that they revealed was impending.
Yeah.
I think it's super, super cool.
think it's cool.
And I'll just read it out here. If you cast this spell for its impending cost, it enters with 4 time counters, with X time counters. And it isn't a creature until the last is removed. At the beginning of your end step, remove a time counter from it. So it's kind of like suspend,
Yeah.
but of course it enters as a permanent. I think the one that we saw was an enchantment.
Yeah.
So it's enchantment first, and then it has an effect, right? Like I think when the card that you'll pop up here, I can't remember what it is, but like when it enters and when it attacks, create a land that's everything.
Yeah, I thought it was like a one and done thing when they did it in Modern Horizon, and then they just did it again. It's so confusing. The land that's everything is actually so confusing.
Because I know a lot of people will be like, what do you mean? It's a locus, it's a sphere, it's
anything.
Yeah. But I mean, I think impending as a mechanic, like flavorfully, that's very cool.
Yeah.
It's like something's here and
Yeah,
it has an effect.
I like it.
You know, like a poltergeist in your house, like rocking things, and and it's not like the ghost comes out.
Yeah,
You know,
the impending
so that's
doom.
really cool. Another announcement that came out with Dustmon is the return of, and it's Arch, right? Arch enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always say Arch enemy. And I'm like, Nigel, it's not how you pronounce it. I'm like,
Arch
fine.
enemy, arch enemy.
Yeah,
Close enough.
Arch enemy is returning in Commander.
I've never heard of this, by the way.
No? So it's 1v3.
Yeah.
Okay. I think the first Arch enemy product was Nicol Bolas. So during the Amon Ket block, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it was like you could be, I think, like Jace, like a Jace deck, a Nisa deck, and like a Chandra deck. And this was before Commander, right?
Yeah.
This was just like 3 decks versus 1. And there was a Nico Bolas deck, which was strong, but also there was scheme cards or plot cards. So kind of like, what's the Planeswalking one? The Planeswalking variant. You know what I'm talking about? Chaos Die.
Planes Chase.
Yeah, sort of like Plane Chase, but only the arch enemy has access to that.
Cool.
So it'll be like you flip the top card and like when this scheme or plot or whatever it's called set into motion, choose 3. You could choose the same ones. Destroy target creature.
Yeah.
Target opponent loses 5 life. You draw a card or something like that.
That's really cool.
So and you sort of like you're trying to take down the arch enemy, which is pretty cool. And they've come up with that variant for Commander, which is very, very cool. So hopefully we can do a show on that. Let's talk.
Do you play it? So you play with Commander format, any decks, or do you have to use specifically, like, is it like a Planes Chase type thing that you need to play with it?
So I believe that when you buy the Duskmourn Commander deck, it doesn't matter which one.
Yeah.
It'll come with like Commander deck and it will come with 10.
Oh, it's like bounties from
something like that.
Junction.
Yeah, so like bounties, like Plane Chasers, so just like an alternative way to spice up a Commander game.
Yeah, awesome. I
like
that.
What's really good is that in the Duskmourn Commander precons, there are 3 that are the explorers and 1 which is the big bad.
That's
awesome, right?
Yeah,
so
that's good.
I think that'd be really cool.
The issue would be because everyone's going to want the big bad and they sell them in the packs of 4, all the game stores are going to sell out of those ones. It's going to be impossible to find them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's happened with the Eldrazi sets in Commander Masters and Modern Horizon.
True,
you can't find them anywhere now.
But the plot cards will come in all of the precons.
Yeah.
But I think everyone likes being the big bad, right?
Big bad, yeah. At least I do.
Well, Duskmourn's coming out September 27th, which is a couple of months away. But anything else that is out of Duskmourn that sort of caught your attention?
I wrote this down. I think many people have seen this. Screaming Nemesis. It's one of the new cards.
It's one of the new cards, yeah. Why don't you read that one out?
It's a 2/1 red 3/3 creature with haste, and this is the fun part, right? This is what it does.
Oh my
Whenever
gosh.
Screaming Nemesis is dealt damage, whenever it's dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any other target. That's cool, Brush Taunter effect, whatever, right?
Yeah.
If a player is dealt damage this way, they can't gain life for the rest of the game.
The rest of the game.
The rest of the game.
I know friends who, like, we've got one of our friends who plays like a life game deck in Commander. Just like, your deck doesn't work anymore. Sorry.
I sent it to him in our group chat as well. I was like, you're going to like this.
It's really, I'm just thinking of like standard applications, right? Because if you're playing mono red, and a mono red decks will be laughing because 1, it's a 3/3 with haste.
Yeah.
Already really good. 2, it's got the Brash Taunter effect. So if you deal damage to it, sweet.
Just great burn.
You've just wasted a card and you've taken damage yourself.
Yeah.
That third effect isn't really necessary, but it's such a strong tool. I would even run it not in like 2 of maybe in the main board.
Oh yeah.
And you bring it in against like control, like life game decks.
There's a prowess in Modern Horizon 3. They released a blue-red prowess creature, Cyclops.
The Is It one.
Yeah, and it's the same thing, right? Where it was always a 2-for-1 because you destroyed it and then you would ping the energy and kill something else, right?
Correct.
This is the same thing but better. And like even in Commander decks, like you put it in like an Enraged deck, you ping it for 1 every turn. In 3 turns, no one in the whole entire lobby is getting life.
Exactly. And if it died after that, you're like, it's done its job.
It's
done its job.
Exactly.
Nutty.
I think it's an extremely fun card. I know people get really upset for effects like this. I think it should be an emblem. I think players should get an emblem because then you can get around it, right? Or like a counter or like something or like a curse. You know how there's like aura curses and stuff like that?
Because if you can like counter, like trigger their abilities or things like that.
Or like enchantment removal or whatever, right?
Yeah.
If it was a permanent or something that was actually visible in the game, I think it'd be better. Than
it's harder to track.
Oh, just remember it.
It's harder to track in paper Magic for sure. I think 1v1 will be easy, but Commander's a bit hard.
Yeah. But other than that, I think it's sick. I think that and that black card they released where everyone exiles like 90 cards
black,
in their deck.
black.
And then you got like 6 cards in your deck.
And then you draw a card. That one's really flavorful in the
really
Dust one
cool.
sort of thing. Yeah.
Stuff like that. I love that stuff. But it completely changes the game. It's good.
Yeah, it's interesting to mix up the meta, especially. Well, another thing that sort of came out in the announcements during MagicCon is the Japan showcase. So I'll read this out, which is exactly what WotC said. Starting with Dustmourn House of Horror, which we just talked about, we are excited to announce a brand new part of Booster Fun. And again, Booster Fun is like alternate frame treatments and like frame break and all that sort of thing, which is Japan showcase cards. They are cards that will feature card art from Japanese artists and illustrators and homage to globally beloved and renowned art styles commonly found in Japanese hobby stores. I think the reception in general, even before this, was just like, give us more Japanese style, like give us more anime art, right? Because whenever they announced it, we're like, oh yeah, I need to buy all this product.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, there you go. Like the Junji Ito sort of like.
I've got all those.
You got all of them?
The
like
Junji Ito cards. They got this like the carrying feeder and stuff like that. Yeah,
well, the thing is, like, a lot of people grow up like watching anime, playing like Japanese RPGs, and that art style sort of like integral to a lot of like, pop culture or like people like, community sort of growing up. So to see that on cards, people love the what do you call it? Enchanting Tales.
The Wilds of Eldraine.
Wilds of Eldraine. Jumps Up 2022.
They did it in Ravnica Remastered as well.
Oh, yes, they did. They did too. Like Tales of Color. Yeah, exactly. There you go. And then like Jumps Up 2022, there was some as well. There's a really cool Thrill of Possibility anime one, which I'm putting in all my decks instead of the other one because that's really cool.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting, I think. And to have that available in English is really good too, because I think the first time they started to do that was during Strixhaven, when they did the Strixhaven Mystical Archive in Japanese only. Those cards are great, but if you don't know what the card is, you're like, oh.
And you're gonna pull out your phone when it's in your hand as well, and you look rude at the table. You're like, sorry guys, I swear I'm just looking up the cards.
But I think this is great. Give us more of that. Really cool. Really cool. Another announcement that again Ruby and I are excited about is Bloomburrow. Very, very excited about. We're frothing about it.
Yeah.
Because again, Red Wall was a book series that I grew up reading up, and it's all like mice with like swords and like badges with maces and stuff, like incredible. So very, very sort of thematic. A bit of lore from Bloomburrow again, directly from Wizards, is when elemental forces rage out of control, the Salvation of Valley, which I assume is like either the plane, no, not the plane, like the area in Bloomburrow, falls on the shoulders of its smallest protectors. Fight besides mice, frogs, bats, birds, lizards, squirrels, and other critters as you restore the balance of peace. Every color pairing has a creature aligned to it.
Sick, yeah.
I'm Orzhov, which is white, black, and they're bats.
Wait, have they announced all of them?
Yeah,
what are frogs?
They're blue-green.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you want to be frogs?
Yeah. I really want a frog commander. I said this yesterday when we were at POG. I said this to everyone. I was like, I'm making a frog commander. I don't care.
Oh, you don't care?
There's that one frog commander now. It's black, green, blue. I think there's one or two frog commanders, but they're not very good.
Oh, the
right?
Toad Rider guy.
Yeah, and then
it's not really a frog.
I think there's a mill one as well.
Okay.
But like I want like a big frog commander. Right?
It's blue green, so you kind of have to build a blue green.
I don't want to play Simic.
What's your color like pairing of choice?
I love black. I love white and love red. And
black,
any
red
combination of that,
yeah.
I play mostly. Like all my decks are in those colors.
So white, black are bats. I think black, red is lizards. I think I could be wrong. Okay. I could be wrong. So there you go. If you missed the reveal trailer from MagicCon, you probably did because you can't find it anywhere else. But Ruby actually took the whole trailer, and it's doing numbers because it's the only full trailer for Bloomburrow.
Ruby put it on YouTube before the official Wizards account posted it, so she's the only source right now. Yeah. It's good, and it's the only one. If you search it up, she's the only one that comes up.
Incredible.
That was good.
It's really cool, and that's sort of that animation style and everything really evokes the nostalgic parts to me for that Red Wall thing.
Yeah.
So it's all elemental creatures, which are the gods, quote unquote, the set. They sort of fight against it. The Night Owl, I think it's called.
That's cool.
It's the big bad, I think. I'm surprised a little bit because they started with Dustmourn, and then they went to Bloomburrow, which is kind of why didn't you do Bloomburrow first into Dustmourn? I don't know.
I think they want to have a certain degree of mystery for Bloomburrow now because it's the most anticipated set. Well, at least I think it's the most anticipated set now.
You think so? I think a lot of people looking to Dustmourn because of the hype they built around it.
The hype is hit a point where it's all right, we can move on to the next thing to hype up now.
Wizards, you got to slow down a little bit, I think.
Assassin's Creed is this week. I haven't seen, no one's talking about Assassin's Creed. It comes out this week because everyone's talking about Bloomburrow and Dustmourn.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's too much going on, right?
It's too much. I will say that they have sort of purposely slowed it down because after the barrage of Outlaws, Modern, Horizons 3, Assassin's Creed, Bloomburrow, there's a big gap, and then there's Dustmorn.
I don't think the gap's that big after Bloomburrow.
August to September. Oh shit! Yeah. and I think that was all that was announced for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Until Magic Con Amsterdam, because the next thing we're going to talk about actually is Magic the Gathering Foundations.
Yep.
Now I saw a bunch of people on Twitter talking about it, so I was like, "What's this?" And I googled it, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it's a core set that's not actually announced as a core set.
Yeah. So basically, WotC says this is. If I'm saying WotC, you don't understand what it means. It's Wizards of the Coast. But they said this set was made for past, present, and future Magic players, featuring products for players fresh or famous and filled with cards legal in standard at least until 2029.
Yeah. Thank God. Thank God. I think it's perfect. I think.
Do you reckon?
As someone who's trying to get into standard now, and everyone gives you different advice, it's like, oh, why would you play standard? Play modern. Oh, wait for the rotation. Oh, play this instead. There's so many different things going on. At least this gives, as it says, is the foundations, right?
Yep.
At least I know something that's going to be the foundation of the set for the next 4 or 5 years.
So you don't feel bad about like buying like a bunch of rares,
and hopefully the shock lands are in there. Hopefully, like all the solid like stuff like is in every deck is like that. And then the prices will go down too, and it'll just be more accessible. And I think that's just how it should be, you know. And I'm really excited.
A lot of people are talking about it now, kind of like, well, standard was the rotating format. Is it not rotating now?
Yeah,
you know,
we'll
it's so funny. And then Modern Horizons is the thought of eternal format, but we're shaking it up every 2 years with Modern Horizons. So it's really interesting to see. Like I'm always like pragmatic but optimistic. So I'm like, this is interesting. Let's see how it shakes out.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to really know how it's going to impact the format.
Yeah, we have no idea until it sort of comes out. This is released in November 15th. So after Dashmon saying nothing gets released until then, it's September, October, November. So there's a couple months. It's still.
By then we'll be talking about Marvel and Final Fantasy.
Marvel. Yeah. We're eating next year. I think it's good.
We'll see. We'll see what Marvel's like. That's
for
sure.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if they. You know, I would say hopefully they'll be doing it well. But if by all accounts, if Lord of the Rings is any indication, hopefully they will, because they're spending a lot of time on it.
It makes them a lot of money. That's why.
Yeah, I would imagine. All right, we'll move on now to something that was announced during the Pro Tour, which we'll get to a little bit later in this episode. But if you're not sure who Kai Buddha is, they announced that the Player of the Year trophy is now going to be called the Kai Buddha Player of the Year trophy. So if you're not familiar with Kai, he is he's the most winningest of all the pro players in Magic history, period, basically. He's won 7 Pro Tour victories, which is more than anyone else. 4 Player of the Year titles, so he's won a lot of his own trophy in the sense. And he's tied for most GP, which is Grand Prix wins, which is 7, and he's tied there with 2 other people as well. I think one of the reasons that they're sort of honoring Kai Buddha with this Player of the Year, like naming it after him, is because A, great player, B, from all accounts, great guy, and C, they did reveal on stream that he's been battling cancer for the past couple of years, and that it's sort of taken a toll for the worse in the past couple months, if I believe correctly. So with his blessing, you know, they're not just like, by the way, we're doing this. Like they obviously consulted with him first and said they're honoring, you know, his legacy by renaming the Player of the Year award after him. And this was all done during the Pro Tour and announced by William Jensen, who's the WotC director of play programs. Which, you know, he used to play against Kai. I think he used to be on the team with Kai. It was very, very emotional. Kai was there himself. He gave a short speech after. He's the German juggernaut. Like it was said, Kai doesn't lose on Sundays. And Sundays is like the
final day, yeah.
Exactly. He doesn't lose on Sundays. So like, and again, like after that was announced, everyone started coming on like social media being like, this is my Kai Buddha experience. And nothing was ever negative. You know, like in the day of social media, something will come out for someone and like something bad will happen. But like everything has been extremely positive to Kai Buddha. So great news to hear, I think. I think we touched about it before, like cancer is just terrible, you know, and like it's impacted like Ruby's life, my life, someone out there in your life. So, you know, Magic is something that's brought this community together, and I hope that will continue to do so. Yeah. All right, something I think Cassa wants to talk about a little bit. And again, Magic Con Amsterdam was home to Pro Tour Modern Horizons 3. Now, we did an episode all about Modern Horizons 3, and that was the release of Modern Horizons 3 before last weekend was 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
So really, really quick, and people had to adapt, build new decks, and sort of bring that into this weekend.
Yeah, it's actually insane how fast they have to adapt to build a new deck, I think. Like, I haven't even looked at all the cards yet, and these guys have got fully working decks that are insane. Like,
I reckon they're like, as soon as the whole list gets spoiled, they're already like proxying, play testing all these things. There's money on the line. There's like pro play points on the line. I'm pretty sure that's what they're called now. And they're all battling out. So if you're not really sure how the Pro Tour works, don't be afraid, because I had to research this as well.
Confusing.
You know, like it's actually like I wouldn't even blame you, you know, and I've been playing for a long time. So how Pro Tour works is that it's an invite-only event. So there's a lot of things like PTQs, which are Pro Tour qualifiers. There's also like Grand Prix. There's a lot of different events in the Pro Tour scene here in Magic. But the format is basically you get 2 mornings of 3-round draft pods. So you'll draft Modern Horizons 3 because it was Pro Tour Modern Horizons 3. And then in the afternoon, there's 5 rounds of constructed Modern. So so every Pro Tour is different. Sometimes you have standard, sometimes you'll have Pioneer, I think, and then Modern.
I think they rotate one at a time.
Yeah, exactly. So Modern's generally like the end of the tour for whatever reason. So in total, there are 8 rounds you play a day. You need 4 wins to qualify for day 2. So if you hit, I think 5 losses, you're out.
Yep. And that's Friday going to Saturday.
Correct. Yeah. And then you need 10 wins to qualify for the next Pro Tour. So if you hit 10 wins, congratulations, you automatically qualify for the next one. So because it's invite only.
Yep.
And you need 12 wins to qualify for top 8. And then top 8 is like the grand, like the creme of the crop. And it wasn't a very varied meta.
Oh my god.
I think we sort of spoiled in the beginning of the episode. Nadu.
Yeah.
Pop it up here.
Yeah,
I'm sick of seeing it, but pop it up here.
It's gross. The saying "bolt the bird" has a whole new meaning now.
Yeah, you can't even bolt the bird.
Yeah.
You can't even bolt the bird.
What's
It's
the pound tough? You can't bolt the bird. That's unbelievable.
So bolting the bird is a very old term that says bolt, which is lightning bolt. It's a single red mana for instant, which is 3 damage to any target. The bird that we were talking about, I think it's Birds of Paradise.
Yeah,
is that?
Birds of Paradise.
Yeah, Birds of Paradise is single green mana for a 0/1 flying at 1 mana of any color.
Yep.
So it's like always bolt the bird because you don't want your enemy to ramp. You
Yep.
don't want them to produce more mana, play a bigger spell on turn 3 that you can't bolt.
Yeah.
But Nadu is a 3/4. It's got 4 toughness, so you can't even bolt the bird. You know, and if you bolt the bird, they gain value from it as well.
I draw 2 cards or draw a card, whatever it
Draw,
is. Yeah.
look a card, ramp, or draw.
It's like the
not even
single
draw.
value
Like you put it
engine.
into your hand.
Yeah.
So in the top 8, the meta consisted of 4 banned Nadu. So 4 decks that had Nadu as the central point, running green, 1 and blue. Shuko. So Shuko is a mana artifact that equips for 0.
Yep.
So what you would do is you equip it to Nadu, equip it to something else, equip it to Nadu, equip it to something else, draw cards, get some stuff, play more things, equip it, and just accrue so much value that you just outvalue.
They had a specific 0/2 like piece of paper that they'd put on the table whenever Nadu came up with a Shuko, so that they could count how many creatures had been equipped to it.
Why does it happen 2 a turn?
Oh,
Why is it twice per turn?
Why is it every creature?
Why is it
not
abilities?
just Nadu?
Why is it 3/4?
I saw a post that was like, I was like massive copium. It was like, Wizards have to have printed this wrong. Like they have to admit that this was a mistake and that they they weren't aware that this happened. Like that it must have been a mistake.
The thing is, like, how does it pass through so many lines of?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because there is a team that says like, let's put the toughness down on that. Let's increase the mana cost on that. Let's put this once per turn to tweak the power level of cards. How is not? I don't know. So let's see if, because we spoke about Hogak Summer a couple of episodes back. Let's see if Nadu. I don't think so. I think Nadu gets banned.
It's done.
Surely, right?
It has to.
Comment if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching this in the future.
And in like 2 or 3 years' time, Ristic Studies will make a video on it about the weekend Nadu was the
weekend Nadu, hot Nadu weekend.
Yeah. In Amsterdam. Yeah.
So 4 banned Nadus, 1 4-color Nadu.
Yeah.
So out of 8 decks, 5 of them were Nadu decks.
Yeah.
Silly. There was one Jeskai control.
Yep.
And two, I think one of my favorite decks, actually, you really like this
I
as
love
well.
this deck, yeah.
Mono black Necro Dominance.
Yeah, with the Sheldred. So you
Yeah.
just keep crewing the life, keep drawing as many cards as you want. It's
Exactly.
really good.
I thought that was a really, but they, again, like in the first round of 8 quarterfinals. Yeah, quarterfinals, just lost to Nadu.
Yeah, it's
Tough to beat.
unbelievable. And I think I was looking at the stats that the Nadu deck had like, I think the Bant Nadu deck had like a 66% win rate or something like
When
that.
Nadu was in hand or something. When,
Yeah, it was unbelievable how like dominant it was compared to all the other decks. I
It's
think
just boring to watch as well.
The Necro Dominance had like a 58% win rate or something.
Which is very high as well.
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean?
it's-
So win rates should average about 50.
Yeah.
Correct? Like if they are like a sort of like A or B tier deck.
Yeah.
58 is already a lot, but it still loses to Nadu.
Yeah,
Like,
it's unbelievable.
and it's just boring to watch because you're just like swapping back and forth.
Yeah. I remember I was watching the Pro Tour on the Sunday, and whenever they had the combo assembled, because like when it was a Nadu versus Nadu, like
That's
the cast
the
was saying,
mirror,
it's
man.
literally just a race. Like it's just you see who gets to play, who gets to like assemble the combo first, and then they win, right?
Yeah.
And the second they have the Nadu and the shoot go out, especially with like a Scoot Swarm or whatever it is, where they make the insect tokens. Because you put the land on the battlefield, you make an insect. The insect can then be equipped twice.
Correct.
And then you just keep doing
And
it.
they just keep going.
Right? And then
Yeah.
every
My gosh.
single game, their
My gosh.
opponent is just standing there or sitting there. It's just like this. Like they're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like they can't do anything. There's no interaction.
interact.
And you just sit there and
No.
wait. And then every single time, it's just like, all right, we're just going to sit here and wait until the other player concedes the game now.
With the casters also kind of like fed up with it a little bit.
I think you could tell from their tone as well.
Yeah.
I remember at one point they're like, welcome back to the exciting top 8 or something like that. And I remember Tom Attack on Cardboard in the Discord was like, oh yeah, exciting. And everyone hitting points. I was like, yeah, it's boring.
If you love Nadu, you're gonna love this.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like,
Nah,
I think-
the bird's got to go. I think it's just too much.
Yeah, I
It's
think
warping it too much.
it's really sad. I think the saddest part about it isn't like the strength. It's just that there isn't any like variety in
Yeah.
the top decks anymore. Like even like going back to like OTJ, I felt like there wasn't as many of the same decks. Like I know a lot
Yeah.
of people playing like Jeskai Control still like 4 or 5 color legends, but I felt
Yeah.
like especially like for 4 or 5 color legends, they're all piloted differently. There was different every game.
Correct,
It wasn't just a
correct.
recurring strategy to win the game. And I understand like you got to do what you got to do to win
Yeah,
the
it's
game.
still Rona as this center book as the focal point, and then Relic of Legends. But then there's other legends that come into play.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
It's not just Nadu Shuko
Yeah, exactly.
every single time. You know.
And I think those
Yeah.
strategies are always more exciting, especially
Yeah.
from someone who's like newer to like the competitive side, but also has like an esports background where like it's just like it was kind of sad to watch, but like if you watch all the other pro tours, it's just still just as
It's
exciting.
a bit more
yeah.
interesting than
Yeah.
whatever the heck that was. But that brings us to the end of like, a little bit of a recap episode
Yeah.
about Magic Con Amsterdam. If you were there, lucky you.
Lucky
but
you.
tell us what you thought. Which part of the news, what interested you? Which part that you actually predict and say, I knew it was going to come true. I knew it all along. Let us know in the comments below. But that sort of brings us to the end of the episode.
Yep.
So thank you so much to Rex Studios. Thank you so much to Cassa, who's going to edit us in the future. You should follow Cassa on everything, all the
Definitely
socials.
check out Nigel, Nigel Victus at
Yeah.
Nigel Victus, and also check out Ruby, who's in Europe.
We'll
enjoying a good time.
we'll put her
Yeah.
up here, but also everything Cozy Magic Podcast, everything you can do to interact with us, subscribing to us, liking this, commenting, sharing it with your friends who, might want a little bit of a rundown actually to
Yeah.
what Magic Con Amsterdam could be. Helps us a lot.
We hit 200 subscribers now, which is pretty cool.
I want to
So,
say
yeah.
nice, but it's not nice. It's great.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.
Peace.